let's talk about a protective order. This is our protective order template, and it's going to give you tips on drafting your protective order and in seeking and getting your protective order, things to think about. So we have order language here, and it gives you a little reminder that when you're drafting your order, I have identified what I call ProDoc glitches if you're using ProDoc. And ProDoc is great, and we use it often, and it is a great starting point for drafting, but it is not flawless, and you need to customize your pleadings for your case. And so there's a strange order little glitch that I call a glitch, where here they are ordering the clerk to do something, but it doesn't go on to order the bad actor to do anything. So just be aware of that, and don't end up with a protective order that isn't really ordering the right person to do something. And I'm sure where that comes from is the clerk is issuing the protective order, but you need to also have the bad actor ordered not to, or to do whatever you're wanting them to do or not do. And then there is, under the law, a form called a data entry form for TCIC. And when you have a protective order, whether it's ex parte protective order or a permanent protective order, you need to fill that out and have it filed. And that puts all law enforcement on notice that a protective order has been issued. So that's important for your client. No one's going to notice if you don't do it. It doesn't happen automatically. So you want to be aware of that. Also, note that the application for protective order now has to be separate from your pleading. So let's say you were filing for divorce, and as part of it, you know, the reason they're divorcing is because he or she just got beat up. So in your filing, you're thinking, oh, I'm filing a petition for divorce and an application for protective order. Those have to be separate documents. They cannot be the same document. We used to be able to plead them together, not anymore. So be aware of that. We have a section here on ex parte protective orders. So of course, be aware that it expires in 20 days. You have to set your hearing within that time. Do you want a kick-out order? So those can be fun. So let's say that you are trying to get the ex parte protective order, and your client wants to have him or her, the bad person, kicked out of the house. Well, you have to specifically plead for that. So the protective order in and of itself may say don't come within so many feet, but that doesn't kick them out of the house. So you have to specifically plead for that, and there has to be a separate order ordering the sheriff to escort them out of the house with their items. They give them a few minutes to get some items, and then they escort them out. And of course, that's what you'd prefer. You don't want your client to have to go home and say, hey, you're kicked out. So it's important to be aware of that. And whenever I request ex parte protective order, especially if you're going to do a kick-out order, you should bring your client with you. And I always take my client, and this is a reminder here, and I tell them the judge may want to talk to them, maybe not, and to wait on this bench while I go talk to the judge. And then I tell the judge, my client's here if you want to talk to my client. And 9 times out of 10, they do not ask to talk to my client. But the fact that my client is there shows the court that they're serious. And I've had cases before where they're not that serious. They're like, well, I can't be bothered. Well, then neither can the court perhaps. So it helps to show the court that they're really serious. This is top priority for them. They need protection. And you want to bring 4 copies of your application for protective order. So I always have a little note about that. So that is your checklist for your protective order template.